And with an accidental press of a button, this becomes a two-parter. So anyways, so the auditor says to Pinhead, who in the Hellraiser series is always speaking in regards to appetites of immeasurable indulgence, of experience. When he basically kills the female, seemingly angelic angel of mercy, I guess. She is acknowledged in the story by the auditor as the one whom banished humans from the Garden of Eden. But I think the basic message in the film is human sin in general has gone beyond self-redemption. That's just my interpretation. But the auditor says to Pinhead, after he, the chains come flying out and they kill the angel of mercy that banished humans to from the Garden of Eden, says, maybe you shouldn't have done that. Perhaps there is a torturous indulgence we cannot experience. Banishment, exile, back to the mortal world. I thought that was interesting. Although I would say that the angel of mercy that banished humans from the Garden of Eden might be a false prophet, or maybe actually the devil, due to his inability to foresee the actions of human beings. Might be a testimony to that, testament to that. And when I say that, I guess I'm really referring to the cop in the story, who's also ex-military. And as the viewer, you're kind of glad to see that he is willing to let go of certain things. But I think an all-knowing, benevolent being would have prior knowledge of how it's all going to go at the end of the day. Because in the film, this is why I think this, because in the film, this angel of mercy who banished humans from the Garden of Eden is acknowledged by the auditor as the one who did that. But my question is, how does he know that? To me, they're all caught up in this human game of suffrage as a sport. Yeah, suffrage as a sport, or to gain power. The Democratic Party comes to mind. Leftist comes to mind. Leftist ideology comes to mind. That's why in this movie, the jury, the trio of dirty, nasty, icky female whores, I think it's subtle commentary to the damage that modern feminism has done to Western soy society. For the record, females have not gotten stronger. Males have become weaker. That's the problem. As I look at this all familiar picture of Pinhead, okay, a different actor is playing him, but nevertheless, the image of Pinhead sticks out for anybody who's even mildly familiar with the Hellraiser series. But even as a kid, seeing the original Hellraiser movies on the big screen, that's a term that was popular when I was growing up for seeing a film at the theater, I always wondered about the weird black thing in back of his head on Pinhead. I believe I found an answer to my 3-decade inquiry. The weird black thing is a leash. with his constant proclaimment that physical, emotional, and intellectual pain is his domain, at the end of the day, he is still subservient to the human sin of suffrage as a sport. Again, Democratic Party, leftist ideology. My bruise is bigger than your bruise. My cut is bloodier than your cut. My emotional torment is worse than your emotional torment. Your intellectual agony ain't got nothing on my intellectual agony. It seems to be the essence of human interaction these days, politically and socially. This is one man's perspective, but... And of course, this is also a personal reflection. I mean, pretty much, that attitude is pretty much the way people in my own life, certainly my father, have talked at me in excess throughout. And something about the climax and the end of this movie reminded me of the famous line at the end of the original Hellraiser movie, Jesus wept. Now, if truly God as man, as the New Testament states, Jesus wept not for the physical pain, but for us. Compassion, dare I say love, for humans. And I would imagine the adrenaline played a role in there. No physical pain when happening, but pain comes later, even days later. I can relate personally to that. I really don't anticipate any more Hellraiser movies at this point. I think the era of horror movies in general is pretty much over. But hey, what do I know? Maybe in the form of graphic novels. There's supposed to be one that coming out at some point, I guess, which basically rewrites the original story of the Cenobites coming into being. Anyways, YouTuber by the name of Mr. H Reviews did a video about that. But the reason I believe there probably will not be any more Hellraiser films, any more good ones anyways, because horror movies in general I think are becoming a thing of the past. Look at the ones that have come out in the last decade or so. They have to make them take place like years ago to have any merit of fear. And besides, if you look at what's really going on in the real world with Harvey Weinstein, the fact that Hollywood is dead, and the Roni, what it's doing to the economy. Although recently I've changed my mind about that. It's not the Roni that's destroying the economy. It's the government, and they're doing it on purpose. And of course the fun and games of the BLM and Antifa riots. Oh, excuse me, peaceful protests. As the MSM always says, they're peacefully protesting. And behind the, quote, journalist, you see buildings burning. Anyway, what do we need with another Hellraiser film? Between the Democratic Party, leftist ideology, raising hell in real life? What do we need with another Hellraiser movie? I still say it'd be cool if some mathematical machinist genius could figure out a way to make a toy that did all the things that this thing does in the film. Ooh, mine's got blood stains on it. Might have to make a video explaining that. But if somebody could do that, yeah, they'd make a fortune. Of course, they'd probably be working in other more important things in the world too, if they had that kind of machinist knowledge and know-how. Alright, I'll wrap this up then. When I originally had the idea for doing the whole Hellraiser series, like I said, I only saw the first. The first one still, the last one is still kind of sort of new to me. I'm a Hellraiser fan, so I probably won't never make another video involving the Hellraiser series, but this will definitely be it for now. But when I really originally had the idea to do all this, I wanted to share some VHS footage I know I have somewhere, but I just can't find it, of Ashley Lawrence's Geico commercial. But then I thought, you know, it probably would be moot going through the whole thing and finding it. And I know I could do it if I had the time, but maybe it's not really worth it. I mean, Ashley Lawrence, there's a YouTube channel out there now, 158 subscribers, well, and me, 59, at least when I subscribed a month ago. But, and I used to wonder if that was her or if it wasn't, but obviously it really is her, because that commercial, that Geico commercial, is in the Ashley Lawrence YouTube channel. The one where they're singing that song. Sometimes when we touch, the honesty is too much, and I have to close my eyes and hide. You know the song. I wanna hold you till I die, till we both break down and cry. I wanna hold you till the fear in me subsides. That's a little too emotional for a Geico commercial, but I always thought, but hey, what the hell? But anyways, yeah, you can check that out on the Ashley Lawrence YouTube channel. Alright, so that's all I have to say at this point about the Hellraiser series. I'll probably talk more later on if I choose to, or if somebody inquires about something. But in the meantime, you know, when you shave your head in the wintertime, it gets kind of cold. Anyways, Mike Paralack, thank you for watching.